Alright guys, let's do this. Moment of truth is here. Let's go ahead and fuse ourselves and build ourselves a KRO'KHAD. We're gonna do it live. There he is, man. Oh, isn't he the most adorable little doggo you've ever seen, man? Oh, he's absolutely glorious. And because we're gonna get this guy leveled up quickly so we can get this video up as quickly as possible for you guys, we are just gonna do this, which is inefficient as hell, but whatever, dude. In the name of YouTube content, man, gotta do what I gotta do on this account, right? I don't have test server access over here, so... And it sort of goes without saying, never do what you see me doing right now on your own account. Save all of this stuff, man, especially ranking up skills and stuff with legendary books for clan versus clan, at the very least. But for now, KRO'KHAD is a special case for the YouTube channel. Why? Because the Packmaster awaits, boys. Before we get into building KRO'KHAD, man, if you're looking to create a new raid account in 2025, get that done right now by clicking on the beginner link down below this video at the top of the video description box, man. Click on that link and use that link to create your new raid account, man. For all of the free stuff that you see on screen right now, just the best start possible on a new raid account. You can grab yourself Basilius Ryanus as your free starter day 1 legendary champion. You can also grab yourself Thorlin Foulbeard on day 1 of your new raid account by inputting beginner code Demon Slayer. That's all one word. And then you can get 3 additional epic champions by leveling up the account as well, man. They'll just appear in your inbox as you go. Best beginner promo going and all of that good stuff. And let's do this now with KRO'KHAD. So, KRO'KHAD brings an attack all enemies on his A1. This attack deals single target damage to each target individually rather than AoE damage. Why is that important? Because AoE damage is like capped in Hydra to an extent. It's just limited against Hydra. I don't know exactly how the math and how the equation works, but having it so that you've got an attack all enemy skill, but it counts as single target hits in Hydra, means that the damage can just scale up way higher depending on if you can get like good enough build on KRO'KHAD, which we're going to get to. We'll also ignore reflect damage, ally protection, and pain link debuffs, which is lovely because those are all of like the big defensive skills minus poison cloud that Hydras bring into the table. This attack also deals double damage when counterattacking if Packmaster Shayak is on the same team. Why is this so important, especially like the counterattack element? Because Packmaster on his passive makes it so that when this champion is attacked, whenever Packmaster is attacked, any ally hounds will basically counterattack in automatically. So that's lovely. On KRO'KHAD's A2, it's an attack all enemies also. Place an extra hit on enemies under 2 or more debuffs, which is very achievable to do. Into Hydra, 100% land rate booked of placing Leech debuff and Weaken debuff for 2 turns. So he's another champion that brings that Weaken tool, meaning you've only got to bring the other decreased defense component. Then for the decreased defense, Weaken debuff combo. Very nice. These debuffs cannot be resisted if Packmaster Shayak is on the same team. And I think this is the only skill that would otherwise require accuracy. And so you can build your KRO'KHAD with no accuracy at all, as long as you've got Packmaster on the squad. Then we've got attack one enemy ignores half of the target's defense on a 3-turn, as well as life barrier and poison cloud buffs, and effects that redirect attacks. Interesting. So, you don't need HP burn up on the Head of Mischief in order to land this A3 against the Head of Mischief if the Head of Mischief like devours one of your champions or something, which is very good. Repeats this attack once if Packmaster's on the same team. As for the passive, I've actually totally forgotten what this even does. Increases champion's attack by 5% when killing an enemy or decapitating a Hydra head, stacking up to 25%. Okay, increases champion's attack by 10% instead, stacking up to 50 if Packmaster's on the same team. Got it. Instantly activates the Dominant Predator skill against a Hydra head when an ally is devoured by that head. Dominant Predator is this big hard-hitting, or at least I think hard-hitting, A3 that ignores a whole bunch of enemy defense. So that's what the skills are all about. Nuka-style build, of course, obviously on KRO'KHAD with no accuracy needed, is music to our ears. Also got so many ways of activating extra hits and counterattacks and stuff like that, that honestly, we can afford to build a pretty slow KRO'KHAD as well and just really triple down on damage, in my view at least. We've also got Packmaster synergizing with KRO'KHAD as well. KRO'KHAD, of course, joining up to ally attack with Packmaster every time Packmaster uses their A1 skill as well. So that's just extra big old A1 hits coming out of the Hound if you've got Packmaster. And for that reason, I'm also going to touch on the Packmaster's build, because if you've got Packmaster Shayak, which you probably do if you've completed this Hound fusion, or you're looking to get your hands on Packmaster sometime soon. There's going to be a guaranteed event sometime this month to get your hand on Packmaster. We still don't know what resources you're going to need for that. I've got him built in a relentless set, man, just to try and get him in those extra turns nice and often, get off just extra A1 skills every now and again as well, and just really like triple down on the value that the Hound is getting as a result of the Packmaster's extra turns. You know what I'm saying? Besides that, the Packmaster's build isn't particularly extraordinary. Bit of perception gear. I've got it built out in like 270 resistance. So if I put him with like an increased resistance buffer, he can also resist all kinds of debuffs from the Hydra heads, and also serve as potentially a mischief tank as well. He does buff himself with taunt and reflect damage after all. So he can be a pretty good mischief tank. It also brings a speed aura in all battles. That's my plans for the Packmaster, and using the Packmaster's build to get more mileage out of our KRO'KHAD, man. As for the KRO'KHAD's build himself, let's do it. Best sets we can look to get on this guy are irrelevant. If your account is in like the early mid game or just in the early game and you finish this fusion and you somehow get yourself Packmaster Shaik as well and you're building KRO'KHAD, don't give too much of a damn about the sets. Focus on getting stat priorities hit on this champion first, right? You can basically be throwing like any old crit damage gauntlets on your KRO'KHAD, right? 100% crit rate is stat priority number 1, followed very, very closely by crit damage as like the highest stat priority. Once you've got 100% crit damage then becomes the highest stat priority. Again, you don't need any accuracy on this champion if you've got the Packmaster Shaik on the team as well, so you can completely skip the whole accuracy component, otherwise you will need accuracy to land the weaken and stuff, so that would suck a little bit. Then you're looking at attack percentage, and then speed, you know. Do be aware that KRO'KHAD is a little bit low on his base defense, coming in at only 870 base defense, so he's quite squishy. Health isn't super impressive either, and so you might want to go for like a ring that brings maybe defense main stat, some defense percent, some HP percent on a ring or whatever. Maybe some defensive stats on your banner or just here and there on your gear. Just be careful, right? This is a Hydra specialist champion. You don't want to just go into Hydra then die. You know, that's like very, very anticlimactic way to build your KRO'KHAD, man. Now, if we can build him out with the best possible gear, in terms of gear sets, you're really looking for like 9-piece Merciless would be incredible. Chance to decrease a random skill's cooldown by a 10 when dealing damage is lovely. Ignore defense being part of 9-piece Merciless as well is going to be incredible. A little bit more accessible than that, you're looking at lethal gear. Crit rate and ignore enemy defense is always going to find value. It's always going to be great getting a lethal set up and running. Maybe with like some cruel pieces of gear as like a filler is also going to be solid. And a hop down further down below lethal if you don't have access to a good amount of lethal gear on your account. Look for savage gear instead. But again, stats before sets, especially in the early game where you're going to struggle to find maybe 4 pieces of good lethal gear. Settle for savage. Or just go for like a whole bunch of like, I don't know, like 4 pieces of cruel and then like 2 random pieces of gear from like whatever old set, you know, it doesn't really matter as long as the stats are good. I actually wonder also if Slayer gear, if you can get like a 9-piece Slayer set up and running as well. KRO'KHAD deals so much AoE damage and is AoE attacking all the time with his A1 skill. If Slayer might not be one of the better sets as well that you can get equipped. It is of course a Forge Pass set, and so, you know, far less accessible than the other stuff that we touched on so far. And you know what? I'm going to actually try him in Slayer, stealing some of the best gear on my account and just getting on the KRO'KHAD. Really seeing what he can do in a Slayer set, I think. Well, I bloody hope that the rolls in this banner don't go into flat defense. With the way that my rolls have gone recently, I wouldn't put it past it. Okay, we get a bit of speed. I'm actually looking more for like the defensive stats here. To be fair, we get a little bit of defense percent there. It is an HP banner. Again, I'm just trying to make sure that the KRO'KHAD isn't made out of paper and poo and isn't just going to die instantly. He's looking very, very squishy so far in this build, to be fair. Yeah, screw it, dude. Let's just go for let's just go for an attack ring. Why not just go all in? We'll just test it into like hard Hydra or something where you can maybe live. And of course, we're also going to be trying to get our hands on the soul for KRO'KHAD. I'm assuming that's probably going to be an event for this champion sometime soon. Also, do not fret. I will be trying out KRO'KHAD in another build as well that's not Slayer immediately after this. I understand this is like a little bit less of an accessible set, and so a lot less of an accessible set. I'm just very, very curious though. I want to sate my own curiosity here. Okay, so this is the build. Let's go ahead, man, and slam this on. Before we check the final crit damage, we do also just have just a good old standard relic to throw on here as well. As for the Masteries, oh god, once again, dude. The things I do for the bloody videos, man. We're gonna go on down the offense tree, make it look a little bit something like this. If I just hide my camera real quick, going into that good old helm smasher, man. Extra chance of just ignoring a whole bunch of the target's defense. And then we will go a bit into the support tree. Not that we give that much of a damn about grabbing the plus accuracy and stuff, but Lore of Steel is still pretty good. Base stat set bonuses are just nice to have, as well as Master Hexer for just a chance of those extra duration on like the weaken debuff and stuff like that. Is always going to be quite saucy. Go ahead and throw some quick glyphs onto the banner. And final stats for the Slayer build is ignoring my own advice completely, coming out at about 332% crit damage, decent speeds, which is great, nice attack, all of that. Given he's got like no soul, it's lovely. The defense is very low. I'm just hoping that the heap HP is going to be enough to keep KRO'KHAD alive. Let's take it into Hydra. And okay, here's the KRO'KHAD test team, thrown in with a couple of mythical champions. The Mikage's in the team with no Shadowkin champion on the team. I just want to throw in the KRO'KHAD as like the core damage dealer and just benefit from the Mikage's ally attack and from her protected buffs and all of that kind of stuff. Big protected buffs coming in from Androck as well. Actually 2 Mischief tanks here total, which is a little bit ridiculous, but same time, Wixwell and Packmaster are fulfilling different roles in the team. Anyway, Provoker, decrease attack, block buffs champion, blah, 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 blah. Let's just see what the Packmaster and the Doggo can do into hard difficulty Hydra. Again, this is in the Slayer build. I will be trying KRO'KHAD out in, for example, like a lethal set as well, just a little bit later on as we get off our first ally attack skill there, which isn't really going to do a whole lot of anything, obviously, because we don't have any debuffs up against the Hydra heads just yet. There's the decreased defense up finally, and the block buffs, and the provoke goes up. Our Hound actually missed his very first turn to the truth here. Which is a bit sad, man, but he's going to get to go in just now. Oh, big old AoE hit there. 140k-ish damage to most of the nerds there. Not too bad, and of course, whenever the Packmaster attacks in, the Hound also ally attacks in with that A1, so pretty solid damage. Hound attacks in again. We miss a turn there due to the True Fear again. We don't really have a good answer to the Head of Torment on this team. Once it's out the way, it'll be interesting to see what do. Dude, that damage is pretty crunchy, man. Like 400k damage there to the Head of Mischief. That's without the weakened debuff being up as well. That's not too shabby. And against the Decapitated Head, it doesn't actually have weaken or anything up onto it right now. But even then, even still the A1 hitting for 250k there. Ally attack as well as coming in hugely, hugely close, just getting all kinds of bonus damage off there also. And again, every time the Packmaster A1s, and he just got an extra 10 there as well in his Relentless set, we're getting in those extra hits with the Doggo. Because it's only hard difficulty, we're actually running into the issue of, oh my god, dude, it's so many extra hits. Running into the issue of actually just killing off the Decapitated Heads very, very quickly indeed. Sucks a little bit for the sake of damage testing, but, you know, the Doggo is quite squishy, and so I do want to be careful of the Doggo just dying during the tests, which would suck a lot. And again, the Soul is going to help with the survivability there quite a bit. But so far, so pretty decent, you know. Maybe I could get away with testing this into Brutal next time, but the damage is looking quite nice. I'm also quite liking the Relentless set on the Packmaster so far. Though if you're going to use him as a Mischief tank, that might be a problem. In hindsight, because if your Packmaster is getting extra turns and you want it to be your Mischief tank, well, every extra turn he gets is reducing his own buff durations, which can obviously be a problem. Because then, you know, he's just not going to attract attacks from the Head of Mischief, so what the hell's the point of that? I'm curious to see the Hound just spams the A1 so hard, bro. I was curious to kind of see the Hound's A2 against a Decapitated Head here, if we can get away with that. Although it is weak hitting into the current Decapitated Head, which isn't great. But dude, the ally attacks, man, from the Houndmaster are very, very impressive indeed. And of course, whenever the Houndmaster gets attacked as well, it's another counterattack coming in from the Hound. It really gets a lot of mileage out of that A1. As you can see, you know, the amount that it's actually spamming the A1 is kind of crazy, dude. Oh my god, dude. Here we go, man. The big A2 hitter against the Decapitated Head hits for 1.8 million total, dude. And that's not very well supported by the Slayer set, which focuses on boosting your AoE damage more than anything. Okay. Color me pretty impressed already, man. Not bad at all. Now, of course, this is half a champion if you're not using it with the Packmaster, which is always going to be a big downside. But so far, so tasty. I tell you what, man, I'll let this go until we hit like boss 10, count 40 or something, and we'll see where the damage ends up. And every now and then I'll unpause recording just to show the doggo attacking into a decapitated head, because big damage numbers are just fun, you know what I'm saying? Ally attack incoming. Oh my god, dude, 650k on each of the decapitated heads. Yeah. I like it. Can actually, like, potentially... Oh my god, that would have been a double hit up for 1.3 million each hit. Oh my god. This is without a soul. Already blessings on the Hound as well. This is really, really good. Now, I've committed, like, my best Slayer set on my account to this, of course, but still, you know? Oh my god, dude. This could be an enormous hit against the decapitated head here, man. The Hound's turn is coming in. No, it's just an A1. Oh no, that was just a counterattack. You just get to attack in again in just a second. Come on, come on, come on. Here it goes. No, it wasn't actually that much, dude. Oh, well. Well, I mean, it was still like a million. I can't complain, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. And as we approach boss 10 count 40, we'll let KRO'KHAD get one more attack in here, as we have just decapitated a couple of heads. Let's see what he can do, and then we'll go ahead and stop this run and switch up the build a little bit to like a lethal build or something, as he just attacks in for like 500,000, and that was just on a counter attack, so here it goes. Oh my god, dude, 2 million damage on the year 2 right there. Absolutely ludicrous stuff. Let's go ahead and end battle. Again, he was just like the only damage dealer. There wasn't really any competition for damage in this team. He finishes on 33 million. Thalesia, secondary damage dealer. Thalesia's really just there to provide hex and to provide decreased defense on an AoE, but not a bad little epic damage dealer in her own right if you can keep her alive. But yeah. Pretty impressive showing for the KRO'KHAD, man. Not bad at all. Okay, so, god, I use so much silver doing these videos, bro. It's ridiculous, man. New and updated build for the KRO'KHAD. Full lethal build, man, with a little bit of crit damage thrown in there as a filler set. I think that's totally fine to do as well. Crit damage is honestly way underrated little two-piece. Solid little filler set to throw on in, especially when it's crit damage into crit damage, like this on the likes of the Gauntlets, right? 102% crit rate. Actually gaining some crit damage and gaining some attack. Like overall, the raw stats are going up at the cost of a bunch of speed, which I think is fine. It's going to be interesting to see, man, which one does more damage. Let's test again. Exactly the same team, exactly the same setup. Yeah. Let's just see how the damage numbers come on out. What the hell was it even before? 60 million damage or something like that after like 41, 42 turns. Boss turn count, that was. We'll just go by similar to numbers to that. Oh my god, dude. Already the KRO'KHAD's A3 hitting very hard on the AoE there. And now that everybody has decreased defense and weakened debuffs, let's see what he can do now just against like non-decapitated heads. With the A1, 250k there. Packmaster then attacks on in. Unfortunately, Packmaster gets the kill there, which is a bit sad. And then the True Fear denies our ally attack. Oh my god, the KRO'KHAD missed 2 attacks there, which is really sad. Oh, here we go. Big double hitter A3 there, clocking in for like 1.4 million damage on the decapitated head, also placing the weaken. And then, oh my god, dude. Those attack-ins with the A1 are even insane in their own right as well. Another's about to come in just now, I believe. Unless it's the A2 coming in from the KRO'KHAD, which, never mind. The Hydra head regenerates just in time. A2's going to come in and just smack for 1.1 million, which is a double hitter. But again, it's just doing too much damage against hard Hydra that it's killing the decapitated heads a little bit too quickly. More than anything, which is completely ludicrous. The damage is looking better so far, though, in Lethal gear as opposed to Slayer, which is kind of crazy. I thought that the Slayer might actually outperform Lethal, but so far, don't think it's the case. It's quite close, but maybe a little bit too soon to tell. As another ally attack rains on in. Even with no debuffs on the enemy, it still hits pretty damn hard. Oh, god damn it. All of the Hydra heads got a Poison Cloud, man. Packmaster! Yeah, well, I'd say you've got one job, but you've got 2 jobs. But still, they're not that difficult, man. Oh, it finally gets up the block buffs again, but that's going to stymie our damage by a lot. Oh my god, I just forgot, dude. The Hound can actually attack through Poison Cloud with that A2. I had my recording paused, but it just hit for like 600k against the Head of Decay right now through Poison Cloud, man, with that A2. Oh, god damn it, and I'm such an idiot. I shouldn't have paused the recording there, man, but totally missed it. Oh my god. No, we were going to do some amazing damage with the dog and then it gets devoured, man. Okay, like the RNG on this run is really turning against us right now, dude. Okay, here we go, man. Doggo unleashed, dude. Big old counterattack there. That's a massive, massive hit, dude. He's going to get all kinds of ally attacks now as well. Oh, never mind, it's the double hitter. Just ungodly dead. Like 2.3 million there total against the decapitated head. Insane stuff. Then he's going to get the ally attack in again. Like 500,000 on that decapitated head. Okay, man. All right, dude. When the doggo gets unchained, the damage is ludicrous as hell. Damage is actually going to finish up a lot slower than the 9-piece Slayer set this particular run, but I think it's because like 15 turns, like 10 or 15 boss turns were just like horrible RNG for us. Well, from terrible RNG to this, I just restarted the run where the Hydra heads didn't get up, like randomly get up the poison cloud across all of the heads and blah, 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 completely ruining the damage. And as you can see, the damage is coming along spiffingly. In fact, it was like kind of the opposite run. Things have just gone exceptionally well in this one. Dude, KRO'KHAD's damage is insane. It's ridiculous, man. It's a really bloody good champion. I can actually see myself using the crap out of this champion as one of my core Hydra damage dealers going forwards. Once I've got a soul on this guy. That's sort of like a big caveat, of course. But as you can see, the damage actually outperforming the Slayer damage test right now. These are very surface level tests, obviously. I'm not going to go ahead and profess that one set is actually better than the other into Hydra based on these tests. But we're just going to arrive on the same turn count as before. Stop the damage there. It was like 33.5 million before. Yeah, he did more damage in the lethal set on this particular run. Again, it was a very, very lucky run in terms of just the way that the damage, like the way that the fight played out. For a super, like, suboptimal team, very, very promising. Very, very promising damage tests, man. Very, very saucy. Hey, let me know how you guys are building your KRO'KHAD down below in the comments as well. If you did go for the fusion, if you went for the fusion and you're still waiting on getting your hands on Packmaster Shayak and you're kind of banking on that guaranteed event, let me know as well down below. It's a very nervous time for you guys. Anybody who's decided to go ahead and make that play on their account, you're probably in the minority. And so good luck to you. I hope that getting your hands on Shayak isn't going to be too rough. But for now, damage test complete. I'm going to go ahead and switch all this gear back now to my other champions. I'm really just waiting on trying to get my hands on the KRO'KHAD soul at this point. If and when that's ever going to show up, right? Hopefully it's going to come up in like a hero's path or something, that we can take a swing at that. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you also did enjoy, man. Hope that you're enjoying KRO'KHAD. If you did, go ahead and fuse him yourself. This is the builds that I'm using. If you look at start up a new raid account, man, look no further than the beginner promo link you can always find down below this video. The top of the description box, click on that link, use it to create a new account for all of the free stuff that you can see on screen right now.